G'day, I'm Johnsy and welcome to my first video after action report for Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. I decided to try an after action report after watching another Aussie's Ezekiel's after action reports. I thought they were great. They showed the differences in gameplay and tactics, and thought that I could show a bit of mine as well. I decided to take it one step further and try to do a AAR in the We Go mode against a human opponent. So you'll have me doing all of my recording in real time, and you'll be able to hear me swearing when something doesn't go quite right, and you'll be able to see things as the battle develops. Now, the person that I'm playing is Josh from America. His nickname is MeatEtr. I know Josh through us both beta testing Combat Mission Battle of Normandy together, as well as all of the modules and Fortress Italy as well. I also talked him into joining the wargaming club that I'm in, the Few Good Men. Out of all the people that I play against, Josh would have to be one of the hardest opponents I've ever had, and he actually beats me more than I beat him, so I'm hoping for a win with this one. Now, the scenario we've chosen comes out of the Sie Kommen II pack that was done by Fredrockers, or Rick, who's also an American. He's a member of the Few Good Men Wargaming Club as well. He's taken on recently the job as second in charge there, so he's got a fair bit on his plate. But he does do a wonderful job with his scenario design. His Sie Kommen II campaign is a great campaign if you want to play it single player, and it's also pretty good if you want to play it against opponents. Now, both MeatEtr and I helped Fredrockers with his play testing of this, but neither of us have play tested this one, so this will be us flying blind. Alright, so the situation is I've got two companies with 4 Panzer IVs and a Panther. I'll be getting some mortars after about 5 minutes. Now, knowing Fredrockers, I doubt that MeatEtr will have the same forces as myself, but he could do. He could have better forces, he could have forces not quite as good as mine. So, let's have a look and we'll see where we're at here. Alright, so here's our map from above. I better turn on the objectives. Now, I play this a bit different to a lot of other people. I have the objectives on to start off with, just to have a quick look at where I'm heading. But then I'll be turning them off because I don't want the objectives to dictate what I'm going to be doing. Alright, so here is our first company. They're on the right flank, and our second company is on the left flank. It's a fairly large map. I would say by looking at it, MeatEtr is going to be setting up back up here, right along this whole edge. So it's going to be a little bit of a race, I think, to start off with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my Panther, which is over here. Actually, I'll move this fella out of the road, grab my Panther, move him over here, and he's going to go flat stick up this road here. I just need to check that he'll be able to get through here. Yeah. So up this road here, round the corner, through a couple of fences, a bit like us doing a bit of circle work on the farm, and pulling up there, because he should be able to then look down the road. Now you might have noticed that I seem to already know a fair bit about this map. That is because a couple of days ago I went and I just had a quick look at it just from my side. Neither of MeatEtr or I have checked out what the other person's forces are or anything, but I have checked out the map in detail, and the way that I normally do that is a quick look around the top, then I'll go to about level 3 and do a flyover on level 3, and then I'll hit level 1 and I'll do what I like to call a walk around. So I look at all the different views that you can get and different spots that for targeting and all of that sort of stuff. Alright, so we've done that. Now we're also going to move up both of our Panzer IVs that we've got sitting here. I'm going to move them up to this hill here. So as you can see, because I had a bit of a look beforehand, I'm able to come up with a bit of a plan. Now there will be periods of long silence, I would say, during different stages of this battle and this recording. You'll have to forgive me for that. Being a dumbass truckie, I'm not that fluent or that good with words, but I will do my best. Now I just need to see whether he comes with a radio. Yes, he does. That's great. So what I'm going to do with him, I'm going to sit him here. He's going to do, actually I'm going to go fast. Yeah. What I'm aiming to do here is try to get the guy here doing a bit of a lookout. Now actually I'd better do my control for getting these guys not to shoot until I want them to. So that's just a target arc that I stick on everybody of about 100 metres. Actually no, we'll make it 120 metres. If I can do it here. Actually might be an easier way of doing it this way. Right, so what we do is we jam a target arc of 120 metres here. What that'll do is that'll allow my guys to get into position. They won't be able to be ambushed, but they will be able to knock over someone who tries to ambush them. Now you'll notice I've taken my tanks off that target arc. And then you'll also notice, after I've done this, what I'll also do is hit all the Panzerschreck teams, and I'll give them a target arc of 100 metres, but armour only. So we don't want them firing at infantry troops. Alright, so better take off the arcs there for these two. Now we'll move this fella over here. So what we want to do is run him rather quickly up along here. And what he's going to be doing is just protecting that area there, so if they're wanting to come through there, he should be able to see them. The other one will move over to here. Now he's got a fairly dodgy old job to do here. So what he's going to have to do is move rather quickly right around here. Reverse up a touch and move. Now you might be wondering why all the points. Just makes it a lot easier to know exactly where my armour is going to go and what it's going to do, and instead of just pulling it up and trying to get it to spin on its tracks, it's a lot easier to do it this way with a forward, a reverse, and then another forward to get it into the right position. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, this fella here, he's going to be someone that I use for spotting the enemy. I'll show you where I'm going to have him spotting the enemy. Because there is a chance that we could have enemy running from this area here up through these fields here. Now I figure if I can get this fella into here, so I'll run him to there and walk him there. That way he's not making a lot of noise as he's coming up to the hedgerow, and therefore with a bit of luck he won't be seen. Alright, so that's that part there done. Now, time to get the foot sloggers moving. Alright, so we'll go there. I always split up my platoons, my sections. Not only does it add more units onto the map, which can help confuse an enemy, it also makes it a lot easier in case you have artillery that they aren't going to all get knocked. Alright, so these guys here are going to run flat stick up to here. Just pull up for a second, and then we'll readjust where they actually go a bit later on. So we'll put this platoon here. This is the company headquarters. We'll have them moving into the trees there. Alright, so time to start splitting again. As you can see, I've got all my hotkeys set up that I'm not having to worry about trying to get into the different sections down here in the user interface. It's all basically done from using hotkeys. Alright, so I'm going to move them across to here. I'm going to run them to here, then up to here, and then across to here. That will be adjusted as the battle goes on though. Alright, the last platoon in 1st Company. I'm just going to split the squads here. Now if anybody wants my hotkeys set up, just give me a yell and I can quite easily send them off to you. And what we do is we're going to move these guys into these woods here. They're going to be just a bit of a backup. So they're going to be the platoon in reserve. Now we're going to have the first 2 platoons on this section here, with lookouts coming up here of what's coming up here, and then we've got our second area. So I'll move this here, and we'll just plot a bit of a course along here. We'll put him into the trees till we know exactly what's going on in the village, in case MeatEtr has been a sneaky bugger and quickly whip some people up there. Alright, so what we'll do is this unit here, I'm just going to take them, and they're going onto this island, so that'll just be a quick little jaunt for them, so I won't worry about splitting them up. But I will split this mob here up. Stick them there. And they are going to run like buggery up there. Now you'll have to excuse my little bit of roughness, because like I said, I am just a truckie, and we will I might offend some people at times. I hope not to, and I'll try not to swear too much, but we'll just have to see how we go. Alright, so I'll turn off the objectives, and that'll just about do me for this turn, and we'll see you for the next turn. Alright, now I'm back. So this is the first go after doing the setup. I've already got a bit of free intelligence. MeatEtr sent me a message saying not many units, so I would say from that he might be getting reinforcements later on, and I've probably got, well, as far as I can tell, all of my units. So that will change a bit of the way that I play this. I'm going to try rushing everything forward. So here we are, just having a look at the first go after doing the setup. Everybody's running as they should. And if you can hear, I'm speaking a little bit differently. It's a Sunday afternoon here, late afternoon. We've got a public holiday tomorrow. I've been at the pub, a few beers and a heap of rum, so yeah, life's good. Alright, so that's it for the first one. No sightings. One thing that I did realise though is that this section headquarters that I was hoping to use as a scout does not have any radio capabilities. So what I'm going to do is continue on and drop him in here as a very quick looking reconnaissance. I'm changing that to a, so he's moving. And then what I'm going to do is use my company headquarters as one that can call down artillery if I need it in this area. So I better rechange his target area to about the 40-metre mark. Actually, that's not quite the way that I wanted it. So we'll do it here. Always makes things interesting, doesn't it? Alright, so we'll do that. We'll move that to here. I'd say he'll be fairly tired by then, so we'll just do a move order to there. We can check all that out later on. Or as we say in Australia, on. Alright, so there were a few things I did forget to do in the setup. E.g., let's get some crew commanders out of their shells. Let's point this fella that way. He should be pretty good there. What happened there? Oh, I know what I did. I selected his whole unit because he is part of one platoon of one company, and he'd have just kept moving. So that was a lucky catch by me. One thing you need to consistently do. These guys are going alright. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to run this fella up to here. Actually, what we might do, let's go this way, pull that there, and grab a platoon here, not a platoon, a section, get them to deploy and face that way. And where are we going to put these guys? Up here somewhere, would be a good spot. Yep. Alright, so this is all looking relatively good. Yep, and we'll see how we go from here. Come back here because I always watch everything from a high point when I do watch things, and then I usually watch replays 3 or 4 times at least, and but the first time's always from a high level where I can overlook the whole battlefield. Alright, so I will see you in the next turn.